Even though I normally don't like spending a lot of time on hair, I heard so much hype around the Dyson Airwrap, so I wanted to see if it was truly worth the money. I also purchased the Shark Flexstyle to see how it compares because the Shark one is half the price. So to help you out today, I'm going to be doing an in-depth review on both the Dyson and Shark styling tools to help you decide which one to buy or avoid it altogether. The perspective I'm coming at with these devices is that I am not a hair expert. I'm an everyday person that likes to have a low maintenance routine, wants to see if these tools are high value enough in my routine to make it worth spending the amount of money on these tools as a lifelong addition to my hair care routine. I was actually surprised at all the additional things that Dyson gives you that Shark does not. It comes with a storage box to put all your items in, but it also comes with a travel pouch. Even though I expected this to be a cheap add-on, it actually is beautifully well made with separate compartments for each of your attachments, the head of your Dyson, and your cord so nothing gets tangled. I was very confused what this was for, but I realized it's to clean the air filter, which you do need to do both on the Dyson and Shark occasionally. Otherwise, the machine will stop working altogether. In comparison, the Shark is the bare bones version, which only has the main attachments you need and doesn't include storage or any kind of air filter cleaner. But Shark's biggest advantage is in its price. It's only $300 in comparison to the Dyson, which is priced at $600. But if you do decide to go with the Shark, I highly recommend this special edition version, which also gives you a box and a diffuser attachment. I start off with freshly washed hair, and I let it air dry a little bit. If you really want to make sure your curls hold, make sure before you use each one of these tools to properly prep your hair. So it's really important to take the time to figure out what your hair type is and what you're lacking. In my case, I'm using a heat protectant spray, a leave-in conditioner, and a volumizing mousse, because the ends of my hair can get quite dry and my hair has trouble retaining volume. This is one of the many mistakes I made over the last 30 days testing out both of these devices, and learning the right technique has made a huge difference from the first time I tried it and after 30 days of testing. When I look up close at both the Dyson Airwrap and Shark Flexstyle, I notice that the materials used in the Dyson feel more luxurious and high quality in comparison to the Shark, which is more bulky and has a more generic plastic feel. The Dyson Airwrap has more attachments than the Shark, and that includes 2 different curling barrel sizes, 2 different brush heads for different types of hair. And the Dyson has a 2-in-1 drying attachment that not only pre-dries the hair like the Shark does, it can also be modified so that it controls flyaways. I'm going to split my hair down the middle and show you how each performs on either side of my hair. First, we're going to start with the pre-drying attachments for each, and for both of them, you just need to clip it in and then it locks in. One really cool feature about the Shark one is that you can rotate this entire piece, which I find pretty useful in blow drying mode. To turn it on, you just need to press up the button. You need to pre-dry your hair so it's about 80% damp so that your hairstyle will last the longest. And one of the things I immediately noticed is I don't like how spaced out the controls are on the Shark versus the Dyson. For the Dyson, it is really easy to use and handle with just one hand, versus the Shark I have to sometimes use 2 hands because it's hard to style your hair then search for the Cool Shot button. But for the Dyson, it's all clumped up together and it's a lot more intuitive. The cool thing about this new attachment for the upgraded Dyson version is that it has 2 airflow ways. One is with this gap open towards the front, which you can use for pre-drying like this. One of the cool features is that you can turn this nozzle around so that it actually clicks and faces towards the back. So when you turn it on now, airflow is streamlined so you can actually get rid of some flyaways. One of the things no one warned me about in all those Dyson tutorials is that the attachment head does get hot, and that includes the drying attachment, the curling attachments for both the Shark and the Dyson, because even though both use Coanda technology, it doesn't mean that it doesn't use any heat at all. So just be careful and don't burn yourself like I almost did. One of the essential things that you need to have if you plan on using either of these styling tools is a wet brush like this one. The bristles on wet brushes specifically are wide and thin enough so it doesn't get caught on your hair when you brush through wet hair, because wet hair, when you brush through it with the wrong type of brush, it's much more prone to breakage. The reason I bought this is also because it travels very easily in my purse, has a mirror on the back of it, and I bring it to the beach, to work, and anytime I go run errands. While the Shark only comes with 1 barrel size, the Dyson comes with 2, and the reason why that's such a big advantage for me is because my hair typically doesn't hold a curl. So by using the smaller barrel attachment on the Dyson, it actually holds my curls better because I can create smaller curls with this. And because I pretty much have waist-length hair, I need to have a barrel that's longer that can take up more hair. I found that the fastest way to use these tools is not to section my hair at all. Feed the end of your hair into the air current, making sure that the air current is flowing the right way. Then feed the rest of the hair in by pulling pulling back and forth and creating tension. If you have extra long hair, like, you're going to have to manually twist it the rest of the way. I always touch my curls to make sure they're not getting too hot, and also to make sure they're completely dry. Both the Dyson Airwrap and the Shark Flexstyle have a steep learning curve, so if you're not willing to spend the upfront time to learn how to use it, this tool would not make a good investment for you. Another really important difference that actually makes the Shark a bit more annoying to use than the Dyson is that you have to interchange between different heads to make the air flow a specific way. While for the Dyson, all you need to do is flip the switch and it will change the way the air flows. And even though I knew this before I bought the Shark, I didn't realize it would be that big of a difference. And because of that, it actually takes me less time to style my hair with the Dyson than the Shark. One of the essential things you need to do in order to maintain a curl is to cycle between the different heat levels. But the Shark makes it much harder to do that because you can only tell what heat and fan level it is by looking directly at the button. While the Dyson, you can feel what level the heat is at just by clicking it back and forth. The Shark also runs at a higher temperature than the Dyson, so I have to be a bit more careful with the heat settings. I think I've finally aced using these tools because this routine that used to take me an hour now only takes me 10 minutes. It combines everything I learned from watching so many tutorials and also experimenting with it myself. And if you want to see the routine that I've developed, let me know in the comments below and I'll post my 10-minute hair routine. So this is the Dyson side and this is the Shark side. So far I don't really see that significant of a difference. They look pretty much the same to me, but I think it's also about how long these curls last. Depending on how relaxed you want your curls to be, you can brush them out. I really don't like to brush them out too much because I kind of want to see how they stay. So it's 9:30 a.m. now. Let's see how each side looks after a couple hours and see if they last throughout the entire day. So this is what my hair looks like after a couple hours. Still has great volume. And the curls have pretty much disappeared. I'm left with some very nice waves. This is the Dyson side, and this is the Shark side. The most important thing you need to understand is the expectations around the Dyson. It's not to make the tightest curls, it's to make a beautiful, healthy hairstyle that lasts and look natural. So in my case, it would look like a wave or a blowout. And it's something I would expect to stay in for at least half a day to a full day. So let's see how this holds up towards the end of the night. So it's been 6 hours now and the waves have fallen even a little bit more. So after 12 hours, this is what my hair looks like. It still has a lot of the body, but definitely lost a lot of the curls and waves it had throughout the day. But to be honest, I still have a ton of volume after using both these tools. In terms of the Dyson side versus the Shark side, I feel like the Dyson has kept a little bit better, but to be honest, I would give them equal points because it doesn't look like it's done by two different tools. If I were to invest in a hair care tool for the next 10 years, I would choose the Dyson over the Shark because even though it's twice as expensive, it gives you so much more for the money. But the entire design is much more intuitive, higher quality, and because it's so easy to use, I would look forward to using it every day. If I were to buy the Shark, I think it would feel like such a hassle getting ready every single day, having to deal with all those small little inconveniences. So even if you are lower budget, I highly suggest using heatless curls as a way of getting body into your hair instead of investing that money into a Shark. Once I have my everyday 10-minute routine perfected, I'm going to link it in the next video so you don't have to go through 30 days of testing to figure out how to keep your curls in. See you in the next one.